So I thought I'd come on here and talk about the book a little bit because I realized I haven't done a lot of that yet. I've been pretty busy and had a lot on and still been on bed rest and dealing with some stuff. So now that I'm up on this slightly overcast spring morning, thought I'd talk about the book, and what better place to start than the title, Owning It, the ride that changed my life. It actually took me a little while to come around on that title. We were throwing around all sorts of ideas, and I guess it was because I really was trying to encapsulate as much of my story in a title and subtitle as I could. And you're never going to be able to get everything that you want into that. So yeah, owning it. I guess there's multiple meanings in it. The life that I lived before my injury, as in like living the dream, traveling the world, kind of pursuing my passion. As we were teenagers, we'd be calling that owning it, kind of crushing life. But when we cross over into the post-injury part of my story, that's where it really comes into play, where I guess it was around my struggles with acceptance, because I thought I needed to accept everything that I believed being a quadriplegic to be, all of my fears and everything around it, which acceptance is more accepting the here and now. What is? That I was in a wheelchair, I had an accident, and that's pretty much it. It's not about fears around, I'll be a burden on my friends and family, or I'll never get to have fun, or no women will want me, or anything like that. So it wasn't accepting those, it was accepting this is where I am. But acceptance still felt a little bit submissive, so I wanted something empowering. What's more empowering than accepting something than owning it? So I think owning it really is about taking everything that we are, everything in our lives, the good, the bad, the ugly, even the confronting things that we don't want to accept about ourselves, that are challenging to dig into. Owning it is facing those fears, facing that sort of stuff and digging into it, and accepting it as part of being human, part of just who we are. And that was really the main part of the process for me. And I think that final step of owning it for me was writing about it. I'd gone through this whole process of, this massive change, adapting to it and figuring out all the mental challenges and really trying to take on this ownership of my life, because I didn't want that sort of victim mentality. I didn't want to feel like everything was out of my control and life was happening to me. It's like life is happening for me, and I'm in control of certain elements of that. And when I understand what I have control of, then that's where really when you can grab onto owning our existence, owning who we are. So the final part was writing about it. It was exposing and revealing everything with vulnerability. And there's a lot of power in vulnerability because it allows people to connect, people to feel like they're not alone. And that was the main thing I really wanted from this story. You don't have to be in a wheelchair or quadriplegic to connect with some of the themes and some of the topics that are intertwined into it. So that's where the title came from. And the subtitle, The Ride That Changed My Life. It's not just that single ride where I had my accident as the ride that changed my life, but it's the whole thing, the whole journey. So main thing's just to embrace it, accept it, and own it. It's a nice, powerful way to be. Get out, get the book, have a read. Please let me know what you think. And I'm excited to hear your feedback. Thanks so much for taking the time to read my story. I put 6 years into writing it, so for people to take the time to read it really means the world to me. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Get out there and own it.